How's everybody doing today? I'm Event42Null, and this is kind of like my little diary on my journey through YouTube as I attempt to grow and understand the problems and other encounters you may have as you go through YouTube. And today we have to talk about some more difficult things to talk about. I have some encouraging news, some disencouraging news, but all of it is inherently useful information that I think everyone needs to know, because information is pretty much the entire battle on YouTube. You need to know what you're getting into, and a lot of YouTubers tend to not tell you the whole truth about the situation. And it's not like they're lying to you. It's just that they don't know because they kind of grew in a different era of YouTube. So I want to just try and explain some of the more realistic circumstances you're going to get into, and the more realistic climate that exists on YouTube nowadays to help you understand what you need to do to beat it. I also do this for myself so that I can learn how to beat it. So, Gregor, can you get some lo-fi going while we go about this? Because, like, I want to try and keep the mood a little better off. It's a little rough, you know? I know you can do it. I got you. You got you. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. While he's doing that, let me go over the quick disclaimer. If you are easily hurt, I would suggest not watching this. We are going to talk about some things that a lot of people don't want to talk about on YouTube. It's not like they're massive or political things. It's just that they are things you don't want to think about when you're trying to grow, but things you need to think about. It's important to know what you're fighting, but a lot of people don't want to think about it. So if you don't want to hear it, it's okay. I completely understand. Just go ahead and click off right now. I'll give you a couple seconds while Gregor finds lo-fi. He'll get it. He'll get it. There we go. Oh. There we go. Okay. If you're still here, I hope you're ready for the immediate first bad news you're going to hear. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. You're not special. I'm not special. None of us are special. And I mean that in the most literal way imaginable. You need to understand something very important. YouTube is huge. They are enormous. They are big in ways we can't fully grasp. And I'm just going to give you a couple numbers to hopefully let it sink in. There is a common phrase in the English language. You're 1 in a million, kid. You're 1 in a million. On YouTube, if you are 1 in a million, there are 2,300 people just like you. 2,300 people. And you're 1 in a million. There are 2.3 billion people on this platform. If you are 1 in a million, in order to succeed, you will have to stand out against another 2,300 of you. That is not impossible, though. It can be done. It's a not fun statistic, but it's something we all need to understand. And it's not much different from Twitch. Twitch does have smaller numbers. I was unable to find exacts, but you can safely assume that there are millions of people on Twitch at any given time. And there are hundreds of thousands of content creators at a time. So this kind of goes across all platforms, but the exact numbers that I'm playing with are from YouTube. So just keep that in mind. So in order to stand out against the 2,300 other people like you, there's a few things you have to do. And a lot of YouTubers are going to tell you to just be you. And people will come. This isn't entirely accurate, but it's also not wrong. You have to be you, otherwise you're going to put up this false persona and it's going to push people away. But you can't just be you. You have to be the best you can be. And that is intimidating, but it is very well within the realm of possibilities. There are three things you need to do on YouTube in order to be the best you can be on this platform. And they're not weird or anything. They make sense when you think about them. The 3 things you have to do on this platform when you're making content. You have to enjoy the content you're making, obviously. You have to be willing to put time into the content you're making. You need to be able to spend time to grow. And you have to. If you cannot find the time, you will not get better or grow. It's just how it is. There's 2,300 other people like you. One of them is going to have the time. And the last thing you need to do is, contrary to popular belief, you can't just do things that other people do and expect the same results. You have to do things you have a general affinity or talent for. Period. I'm sorry. If you're bad at a specific type of content, you need to change your content. You have to. You have so much competition. You have to be able to put yourself against them in the best way you can. But don't worry, these 3 things can actually help balance each other out. For example, if you have a lot of time, but maybe you aren't the most talented at something, but you do have some affinity for it, your time can help you nurture that talent and you can grow it. If you don't have a lot of time, but you happen to have a large passion for what you're doing, your passion will drive you to be more creative, and that will help balance that out. Each thing kind of helps each other out. But you still have to have all 3. If you are missing one, you're going to get fucked, because somebody else is going to have all 3. Now, I can hear the thoughts in some of your heads. Many of you are thinking, well, I say many, there's my last video got 150 fucking views, so, the few of you are thinking, but I'm bad at everything. I can't do anything right. There are probably a few of you that are thinking that. And I have great news for you. That is statistically impossible. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It is physically impossible for you to be so bad at everything you cannot find something you're good at. In fact, it is paradoxically impossible. Because if you are so bad at everything, then you are good at being bad at everything. And yes, there is an entire genre on YouTube for it. Fail compilations, fucking Will Wheaton's Dice Curse. It exists. There are people who make bunches of cash just off of playing games poorly. It exists. You cannot be bad at everything. It is literally impossible, and that's ignoring the fact that you exist to begin with, and therefore your genes cannot be that bad. Because, somebody had to get it on, and they had to be impressive enough to get it on. So there's something there. You may not have found it yet, but it is there. It is paradoxically, statistically, it's just impossible. You cannot be so bad at everything you can't get attention. It's just, you can't do it. You cannot do it. And you should take solace in that. This goes for everything in life. If you are sitting there and you do not have a purpose, you cannot figure out why you're here, you need to know that it is literally impossible for you to be bad at everything. You're just not thinking about it right. And I had to wrestle with this myself. Over the week, I attempted to... I'm going to expose the shit out of myself. Don't make fun of me. I attempted to make a parody of Bo Burnham's Welcome to the Internet, and it was going to be Welcome to VTubers. And I wrote out these great lyrics, and I had everything matched up, syllable to rhyme to cadence, I had everything. And then I sat down and tried to sing, and I did this for a week and a half. I trained using videos, but I found out I cannot fucking do that. Contrary to popular belief, there are things you are bad at and you should avoid if you want to actually succeed. This was one of those things. So I had all this stuff. I had clips, I had everything, and then after I worked for a week and a half trying to come up with this shit and try and like make it and I mean it's just a Bo Burnham thing. We're not talking about some fancy singing. The man just barely above talks when he sings, and I couldn't do that because I'm tone deaf and have no one to help me with that. So yeah, there are things that you're going to be bad at, and it's important to understand that you shouldn't spend too much time on those things, because the time you spend trying to perfect something you're bad at, somebody else is spending their time perfecting something they're good at. And you can't afford that kind of time loss on a platform that is evolving as fast as YouTube. And that's okay. It's okay to be bad at things. You're still good at something. As we said earlier, statistically impossible. But let's break that down. Actually, let me give you some numbers. I don't have these memorized, so I'm gonna look at my board here. If you are 1 in a million, and there are 2.3 billion people on the platform, there are 2,300 of you. I'll cut out that cut. Out of the 2,300, only about 10% are going to be creators. Odds are. Out of 230, only about 25% of those are going to be willing to put forth real effort into the content they're making. Whether that be because hobby or not enough time or whatever. Maybe they don't even care that much. But, you know, only about 25% are actually going to put forth the real effort. Out of the 58 left, only half of those are going to put forth the effort to be as good as they can be. They are going to emphasize their good points. They're going to work their ass off. And out of those, you have your true competition. And that's only about 30. So, you know, we've trimmed it down a good bit. Out of those 30, you only need to be in the top 50% to succeed on this platform. Which means you only have to be in the top 15 out of 30. And that's very achievable. You need to get a 50% on a test. If you follow the study guide, you still only need to get a 50% on the test. It's doable. It's very doable. This isn't all bad news. I'm not just here to shit on people. I'm not just here to say, don't do it. But I can't give you the answers either because I don't have them myself. I mean, look at me. I'm not that fucking big. But I can understand the problems that people are going to encounter because I'm encountering them. So I can give you a study guide. I can't give you the answers. I hope this study guide helps. Now I'm going to move on to thing 2. There's something important I need to discuss. I got something wrong in the last video involving YARs. Okay, I just want to clarify. The thumbnail click-through rate is actually above watch time, and the reason for this is because there is in fact an entire another system built in. I don't know if it's before or after YARs that analyzes thumbnails and pushes them to people that have clicked on similar thumbnails. I think the algorithm sees a thumbnail kind of like this, and it tries to like compare the color patterns, but this is a lot of speculation. Keep that in mind. I don't know for certain. I merely wanted to say that I was incorrect and that thumbnail click rate was in fact above watch time. There is a little more going on there. I will get into this in deeper detail in a future YouTube Diaries. Once, you know, I figure out how thumbnails work, and then I can actually get my content pushed. But I'm trying. I just want you to be aware that, you know, I fucked up, and I want to admit to it, and I want to fix it immediately. So there's that. With that, let's shift gears a little bit. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, you should leave a comment, like, and subscribe, as it helps tremendously. I hit a K, which is really great, though a lot of them were given to me. And I don't know how many will stay, but I'm grateful either way. I'm grateful that you gave me the time of day and stayed around at least as long as you did if you leave. I also want to say that since it happened so fast, I couldn't come up with anything to do for a 1K special, but I do have something to do for a 2.5K special, because that's going to be my next goal. 2.5K sub goal. What are we doing? I forgot. I wrote it down. Give me a sec. I don't know how I forgot this. I'm going to do a Q&A as well as develop a Discord so that I can attempt to grow that community that I was talking about a few seconds ago. I will accept pretty much any question as long as it's not offensive. But you know, if you had any questions about my former videos, about the YouTube algorithm, or maybe you want me to try and dive in a little bit more into the whole concept of the weird thumbnail blur image color thing that I still don't really understand, but I know it exists, or maybe you just have stupid questions and want to meme around, and you know, whatever. I like fun, so I'm not gonna complain. But that's gonna be the sub goal. And the caveat, if you ask me a question that isn't offensive but I really don't want to answer, I will eat super bitter ass chocolate. That's going to be a challenge for you, because I'll say a lot of dumb shit in front of a camera. So good luck. Anyway, yeah, it'll be good shit. Outside of that, thank you for watching. I appreciate your patronage to come view my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Georgie, Gregor, sorry, I called you Georgie. I apologize. Gregor, you can cut the video. We're done. We're done. What are you fucking